The war in Ukraine is showing no signs of abating as the war enters day 38. Moscow's war machine is not slowing down. Putin's ground troops launched a strike on the regional government building in the southern Ukrainian port city of Mykolaiv. At least 33 people were killed and 34 were injured in the deadly Russian rocket strike. Mykolaiv, a strategically important city en route to Ukraine's largest port of Odessa, has withstood weeks of shelling by the Russian forces now. Residents of Energodar also experienced sounds of explosions and massive shelling by Russian ground troops. Meanwhile, the Red Cross is renewing efforts to evacuate civilians in a convoy from the besieged port city of Mariupol as Russian forces looked to be regrouping for fresh attacks in southeast Ukraine. Addressing Ukraine in a nightly video message, President Volodymyr Zelensky said that Russian troops have been creating a catastrophic situation for civilians by leaving mines around homes, abandoned equipment as they pull back from Kyiv. Russia continues to pound key Ukrainian cities days after announcing de-escalation from the capital city Kyiv. In visuals released by the Russian Ministry of Defense, the extent of war wrought and destruction is captured, rained by heavy Russian missiles. Take a look at this report.
Identify, track, demolish. 2 days after announcing de-escalation and claiming to have withdrawn troops from the capital city of Kyiv, Russia continues its onslaught. The 4 videos released by the Russian Ministry of Defense reveal the ferocity of the assault on Ukrainian forces. Video 1 shows the destroyed battery of Ukraine's S-300 anti-aircraft missile system. The entire site has been reduced to rubble. No signs of human life. Only war machines destroyed by Moscow. S-300 is a long-range surface-to-air missile system. It was said to be a game changer in Ukraine, but the footage paints a different picture. Video 2 reveals the Russian air power and its air superiority over Ukraine. Footage shows the crew of the Panzer anti-aircraft missile and cannon complex. Video shows Russia promptly detecting and destroying a Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicle. Debris of the unmanned drone is then seized by the Russian forces. The third video shows a special military operation conducted by the Russian armed forces. Moscow is repeatedly striking the military infrastructure and equipment of Ukraine. Video 4, released by Kremlin, shows Ka-52 helicopters of the Russian aerospace forces destroying fortified strongholds and firing positions of armored vehicles of Ukraine. After 6 rounds of talks, there was hope that Russia would de-escalate. But Moscow continues to rain missiles on key Ukrainian cities. Bureau Report, India Today.
India Today is committed to bringing you all the latest developments from the war zone. India Today's Gaurav Sawant brings you this exclusive ground report from Ukraine's Irpin, where Ukrainian forces continue to strengthen their defenses in Irpin and Bucha districts of Ukraine on day 38 of the war. Ukrainian emergency services have started to rush into Irpin and Bucha with ambulances, doctors and even hearses as Russian forces retreat. Take a look at this report.
The Ukrainian army is taking its own tanks and captured Russian tanks through the streets of Irpin. This is, in a way, a symbol of the army in Ukraine being completely in control of this area. They are very confident that the Russians have retreated, leaving behind some of their equipment. They are now going to take these tanks, their own tanks and the captured Russian tanks, to the center of Irpin as a mark of their victory over Russians in this area. And these additional forces that are moving in is to strengthen their defenses in this area, as the apprehensions remain that the Russians could strike back in a bigger way. So while the RT and armor are in place, surface-to-air missiles and missile defense systems are also being brought in, and their security is being strengthened in this area. With cameraman Lalit Mohan Joshi in Irpin, Ukraine, Gaurav Sawant for India Today. On the 38th day of the Ukraine-Russia war, new images of death, destruction and the constant battle that's on. We are currently in Irpin, and there you see the Ukrainian tanks are now rolling into these streets. We'll try and get closer to those images and get you more on the story. As you see, damaged but operational, the tank of the Ukrainian army on the streets. And this is 21st century Europe, a destroyed petrol pump and a damaged tank. Now, some of these tanks are now coming to this area to strengthen this place. Come and try and get closer as the tank itself negotiates the roads here in Ukraine. In Irpin, the situation here, as of now, as the Russian forces retreat, you have the Ukrainian forces that are moving forward, and amidst civilian movement, you also have tanks moving, but tanks also move a little slow at this point of time, because they also have to ensure that there are no anti-tank mines on these roads. Now, some of these roads have been heavily mined, and the Russians, while retreating, left anti-personnel mines and anti-tank mines. So once a lane is cleared, only then do you see movement of tanks and personnel in this area as Ukraine takes stock of the damage. With cameraman Lalit Mohan Joshi in Irpin, Ukraine, Gaurav Sawant for India Today. Can you tell us about the tank operations?
Танк орків, Russian tank. Ми його відновимо, забрали, зараз склепаємо на завод, підрихтуємо і буде далі бити орка.
What tank is this? Russian tank you've captured?
Так, Russian tank, 72-ка. Руська 72-ка. Зараз поставимо на баланс, підрихтуємо і будемо далі бити орків, їх же техніку.
India Today is committed to bringing you all the latest developments from the war zone. India Today's Geeta Mohan brings you this exclusive from undisclosed army camp, where Russian forces have managed to capture armored vehicles, tanks, crocodile trucks and training documents from Ukrainian forces. Take a look at this report.
We are here in one of the bases, very strong hold of the Russian army in this entire region. Commanding Officer Mahadal over here, and the truck that you see behind me is the truck that's called the Monster Truck. It is famously known in the Donbass region as the Monster Truck. It really has ensured a lot of wins for this team over here. Commander Mahadal, there you see there's a tank coming in. come in and show from Commander Mahadan over here will explain what his team does. Alex, what does his team do over here?
Чем ваша команда занимается?
Освобождаем наши земли, славянские,
The territory of Ukrainian forces. Our
от нацистов,
from Nazis.
Okay. And what is this monster truck? Why does he call it the monster truck?
Почему называется Monster Truck?
Он называется крокодил. Он не монстр там. Он называется крокодил.
They call him crocodile.
А почему назвали? Был у нас товарищ, нарисовал на нем красивого крокодила вот спереди, это мы сейчас его закрасим.
The guys who produced it painted the crocodile on it. So, but now there is no such paint, but the name left.
Okay, so this is the crocodile
Ну и
truck,
так,
the
если на него
monster truck.
посмотреть.
How has it helped his entire force over here?
Как это помогает его конструкция вам для ваших задач?
Так, ну он бронированный, защищает личный состав.
It's a very good armored vehicle, and it helps to protect soldiers inside.
All right. So good armored vehicle. It's called the Crocodile. Commander Mahadan over here taking care of this entire area. This was under Ukrainian control, now absolutely under Russian control. And these monsters really help them to take more and more territory as and when they go ahead. We've seen an entire region over here that is now under Russian control. There's fierce fight, and the Ukrainians are trying to take back territory. We've witnessed those fights, and we've witnessed areas where villagers have gone into the bunkers because they fear that the fight is going to be devastating. But the Russians are not giving up, and the Ukrainians are trying very hard to reclaim land. British journalist Satya Rautre, Geeta Mohan for India. The forces over here have captured armored vehicles, tanks, and text documents from the Ukrainian forces. And what they have to say is that they're now more well trained than before because of the training that they get from America, from Britain. Now this is a text. This is a document this is a training document that his forces picked up from the captured vehicles. It says Advanced Surveillance and Reconnaissance Course Aid Memoir, and this is for the Ukrainian forces that allows them to strengthen their capability in reconnaissance and advanced surveillance. And all this is from the Western forces, so they know exactly what they're dealing with. Also, he says that they're very confident that despite all this training, that they will be able to not just capture but also retain the land that they have captured. With camera person Satya Rautre, Geeta Mohan.